Rappers who sound better on mute. This is like a new insult that's going to replace "you got a face for radio." Do you remember that expression? Oh, you got a face for radio, bro. Oh, what an insult. So I guess you could say you've got a rap voice that's for mute. I'm not sure if that's flows quite as well as an insult. In fact, actually, that's not even accurate. It's not that they've got a face for mute. It's more like they've got a backside for mute, because that's kind of all it is. So what is the problem with these modern female rappers? In fact, what is the problem with modern female rap gimmicks? Well, there's a few problems, and it also signals the future that might be just a little bit bleak. Now, some people might be thinking, oh, this is just going to be some sort of hating exercise. Oh, this is a woman bashing exercise or something. No, it ain't none of that. This is more of an industry bashing exercise. But what I want to dive into is when this all started really popping off and how it sort of dominated the modern music cultural landscape. And in fact, a lot of popular cultural landscapes, to be honest. And I also want to discuss how this is a clear sign that it's over. Not just for rap's dominance in music and rap's dominance in popular culture altogether, but it's the end of the music industry. Either it's going to sink and disappear, or it needs to be rebirthed. And, you know, death can lead to rebirth. Just ask Buddhists and Hindus and people like that, you know what I'm saying? Before we get into all that, I'd like to introduce you to this podcast phenomenon and format. Basically, if you are listening to this on any podcast platforms, you won't see my face anyway, and there's no video. But if you're, picking up on YouTube or, the evil dark overlords of Rumble, you might notice that there's no video here. If I was going to show examples of all these female rap artists' shenanigans, and this goes on YouTube and it was video, it's going to be not demonetized because it ain't monetized, but it will be demonetized in theory. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, but also it'll probably be age restricted. And this is one of my pet peeving problems with the whole modern female rap phenomenon. And kind of modern, and not just them, like modern rap music videos in general. That's a huge problem too. The fact is that there is one rule for thee and another rule for ye. Is that how you're supposed to say it? Thee, ye? Who cares? And I'll give you an anecdote about that. Right? If you go over to my Bronco Land channel, which is where I used to make all my comedy skit videos with a couple of friends, there is one video you can watch called "What Do We Do About White Man?" I think that's the title still. I may have changed it at one point. Anyway, watch it all the way to the end, because despite it looking like a bunch of chaotic nonsense, there is actually a message and an arc to the video, because I am an artistic genius. I am like Kanye. I'm the kind of guy that's going to reclaim the swastika and make it my own. Because that's what Kanye does, okay? The swastika's his now, all right? He's a genius. Anyway, what happens is, in the video, it's like, I'm just acting like the stereotypical white man portrayed in the media, getting drunk, eating bacon, insulting immigrants. And then I transform into what society wants me to be, Magnolia Man. And this happens in a forest where I get sucked into a magic portal and spat out. This sounds really impressive, doesn't it? Like, wow, what effects you must have. No, it's all done with low-budget camera trickery. But the point is, I'm walking around as Magnolia Man, and then in my mind, I'm apologizing for all the bad things I've done, and little overlay videos come up in the corners of the screen showing examples for comedic effect. And I go, I'm sorry for cultural appropriation, and it's that really culturally insensitive scene from Temple of Doom, where they got Indian men eating snakes and bugs. And then I address women and I say, I appreciate you for your mind, or something like that, I say. And in the corner, there's a video of a girl just bouncing her ass in a thong, basically. And this video eventually it got made age restricted because of that clip. Because I couldn't work out at first. I was like, why is this age restricted? I've got way crazier videos than this that are way more offensive, that have way more swearing. And it was just that clip. Because YouTube are prudes, but they're only prudes when it suits them. So let's dive deeper into this example, shall we? Yes, let's do that, shall we? Right? What do you think could happen if let's say you're a girl and you've got a very nice behind and you decide to be an independent music maker, and you look at all the other big female rap artists out there who are just bouncing their asses naked on screen, and you think, well, I'll do that. That'll give me success, won't it? That's a clear route to success. You know, the same as any sort of good business model. You know, buy for one, sell for two. You know, enter in the stock market when it's low, sell when it's high. You know, there's this kind of, want to be a rap superstar, get a BBL. This is simple business economics. But let's say you do that and you go, right, I'm going to become Miss Big Bouncy Ass. And you start doing your music videos and you pop them up on YouTube, and then suddenly, no monetization. Blocked in Saudi Arabia. I mean, possibly. Age restricted. Well, it doesn't pay to be age restricted for those videos, which kind of leads into another problem that people have, and the problem that, I've been thinking about. The fact is, most of the people that would want to consume your big booty bouncing music videos would be, well, teenage boys under the age of 18, because they ain't getting them. And then, well, they're not allowed to watch the video no more. And yes, you can get around it with VPNs and blah, 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 but it does affect your rankings on YouTube and does affect your chances of getting that prestigious MOBO award that you've been seeking out for your wonderful independent music career as a female rapper with a BBL. But you could do exactly the same music video with exactly the same kind of content and get signed to Universal Music or any of its hundreds of thousands of subsidiaries. You'll be monetized and you will not be age restricted. And that is common across the board. Go check out a bunch of, just type in like sexy big booty music videos. Clearly you recognize this is probably a search term I use a lot. And just look at the ones that aren't age restricted and the ones that are age restricted. And you can then look at like, well, what record company is listed? And then look at who owns that record company, and then it all becomes pretty obvious. Yeah, because it's perfectly fine for those music videos to be monetized and not age restricted if it's owned by one of the big three corporations: Sony, Universal, and Warner Brothers. Now, is that not a shit or a what? I find that quite offensive, but that is actually the way it is. And what does this mean for the grand scheme of things, apart from the fact that we know YouTube can be very hypocritical, and then we know that record companies are completely desperate? I mean, of course they're going to negotiate a deal with YouTube. It's like, look, don't restrict these women with their bums out, because this is going to be a problem for us, okay? Because we are the music industry and we refuse to die. It's very admirable for the music industry. It's been dying for since the late 2000s. But it just refuses to die. It's just like, no, I'm not dead. It's like that. It's like the Black Knight in Monty Python's Holy Grail. He's got his arms chopped off. He's got his legs chopped off. And he's like, it's only a flesh wound. Finish me, you pussy. But that's the music industry. They're also kind of like crackheads. They're just going to try and gather together all the money that they can to buy some rocks. It's like they don't care where they get it from. Oh, we're going to scrape money from here, we're going to scrape money from there. Like, if Universal could do a deal with Elon Musk when they start doing those brain chip implants, that they could take royalty checks from people humming or thinking about humming one of their songs, they'd do it. I mean, they'd block your brain. They would actually send impulses into your brain to block your movements. It's like, sorry, you are paralyzed until you pay for humming that tune. That's what they do. And that's how you know this is over. This is clearly over. And I've spoken to people who work in the music industry, I was just trying to like work out like how does streaming numbers work, because I've seen some video, some guy breaking down. Well, for 2,000 premium streams, you get this much. It counts as this many plays and this many sales. And if it's non-premium streams, you need 4,000 divided by calculus 9/4. Move the 1, and I was like, what the fuck? What is this? Why can't it just be you sold 1 million records and that's it? 1 million records. You make this much upon each record, and that's how much it is. That's how much it was sold. That determines what place it is. No, now it's got to be some sort of weird mathematical equation. They've made it so confusing that the only way for you to make money is to, I don't know, no, you can't. You just get screwed in the ass. It's clearly just made to screw people. And the fact that everyone has more opportunity for mass distribution than ever, like, why do we even need these record companies? Isn't it time they died? Isn't it time the industry just all died? Now, how does this relate to female rappers who sound better on mute? Well, I mean, this is a clear sign of decay. And I'm not going to go into moral decay. I'm not one of these tub-thumping lunatics who goes, oh, this is moral decay. People who point at Bonnie Blue or something and go, oh, she slept with 1,017 men or whatever it was. Oh, this is moral decay. This was going on in the 90s, bro. Moral decay happened a long time ago, except in the 90s we were cool with it. We didn't call it moral decay. We called it Tuesday or something. You see, it's more of a decay of creativity, innovation. Like, that's why it's kind of like the Dark Ages. If you talk about modern popular culture, we went through sort of Renaissance periods. We had the birth, we had Renaissance periods, we had Enlightenment periods. We've had all these periods. Now we're having Dark Ages. It's just gone in a different order. Because female rap in recent years has just become gimmick-based, and the only gimmick is a backside. And it's not like gimmick it's all the same sound, but it is quite often all the same content. The lyrics is like, my ass is fat, give me dick, ear rude boy, stick your tongue in this wet ass pum pum. It's just that, isn't it? Like, it's not morally bankrupt, it's creatively bankrupt. Because gimmicks have always been about, there's always been gimmick raps, there's always been gimmick rock, gimmick pop. Gimmicks. There's always been gimmicks, Yeah, Gravediggers, they had a little gimmick. It's like, oh, horrible rap. It's like, oh, we're going to talk about death and ghosts and zombies and shit, That's horrorcore gimmick. Biggie Smalls, his gimmick was he was fat, but Fat Joe's gimmick was he was fat, and so was Big Pun. In the 90s, three very respected big rappers were fat as hell. That was their gimmick. I'm fat, Then Lizzo come along and it's like, I'm fat and beautiful and I get my ass out. It's like, whoa, well, you are ticking too many boxes, madam. You've had gangster rap gimmicks. Snoop's had his various gimmicks over the years. There's always been some sort of gimmick, all right? And Eminem had a gimmick. He's like, oh, I'm a crazy white trash boy who talks about doing drugs and having a messed up life. There was a whole cartoonish gimmick. But and I'm not a big Eminem fan by any means, but like, he did transcend the gimmick. Some artists managed to transcend the gimmick, and it takes people by surprise because you're like, I did not think you become this big. I didn't think Eminem would become that big or that respected, for that matter. Because it's not just like he's big, he's also respected, which is crazy. Because if you actually just look at his first 2 albums and like the music videos and stuff and the whole shtick, the gimmick around it, you're like, well, this is going to be considered one of the greatest rappers of all time. This guy, like, you had to be there, bro. Because especially if you weren't around then, you wouldn't have any clue about the optics of it all. It was like, well, this guy's just gimmicky. And when it comes to female rap, in the 90s, and the 80s a bit, but there weren't that many of them. You had Salt and Pepper and MC Light, Foxy Brown, Lady of Rage, Rah Digga. Rah Digga was a bit later. Maybe she was early 2000s. I had that album. A Mill, if you like. I mean, Gangsta Boo from 3 6 Mafia. You had female rappers, and usually the gimmick was, I'm just a female in a male-dominated space. But they all had their own thing going on. But then, you're probably thinking, you've missed someone out. Who have you missed out? Lil Kim. Yes, Lil Kim. And Lil Kim's had longevity too. Respect? 50-50. But longevity, and that's not my opinion. I look at the whole consensus, all right? I don't really care about the consensus, but I take it into consideration. Lil Kim had a gimmick, okay? Lil Kim's gimmick was, I'm a teenage rapper who's talking about explicit sexual stuff. That was her thing. Her first appearance on a record is basically a skit on Ready to Die by Notorious B.I.G. getting drilled in with lots of spanking. Oh, Big Papa, smack, 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 smack. That's her. That's the introduction. That's her hello world moment. Hello world, I'm getting drilled in by a fat man. That's how we got to know Lil Kim. What's Lil Kim's first album called? Hardcore. All right. Now, if there was a gangster rapper who was male and called his first album Hardcore, you'd be like, yeah, this is hardcore gangster rap. He's going to talk about shooting mans, slapping hoes, robbing banks, kidnapping ops, not filing his taxes like an absolute boss. All right, this is what he's going to be doing. But hardcore with a woman, it's like, no, hardcore pornography. Right, and that's what it is, right? And go look at the album cover if you've never seen it. Now, it's not like, totally explicit, but it is provocative, and she is, crouched in a way where you kind of can see, her panties, She's got panties out front, It's like, here it is. Here's the prize, right? This is my gimmick. And that, my friends, is the birth of what I like to call ho rap. This was Lil Kim's initial gimmick. In fact, Lil Kim had a problem with one of the other pioneers of what I like to call ho rap, Nicky Minaj. She says she stole a whole shtick. Now, we could go into this for days if you wanted to, but who's got time or care for that, right? Yes, you could say she stole some of the aesthetics of it, but Nicky was the one who kind of pioneered the whole thing. I'm going to be... So, track back is a bit, because you've always had music videos, especially rap videos, with black girls, predominantly, with big asses, shaking their asses, okay? And they've got more explicit as time has gone on. Culminating in the peak of excellence, which was the Nelly Tip Drill Wank Marathon, which is about, it's 10 minutes of just filth. It's fantastic, right? So, but Nicky was like behind this whole thing. No, I'm also going to be the video vixen, because that's what it was. 2000s, that was the whole thing. Video vixens. This is when you got DVD releases of like Hip Hop Honeys, which is basically just twerking videos, right? Strippers and shit. Video vixens. Video vixens were big. Video vixens were apparently making money. Video vixens released books such as Superheads, expose of every rapper. It's like, I've sucked every rapper's schlong. It's like, have you? Yes, all of them. I've sucked all of the schlongs in rap. Like, bloody hell. I've even sucked the dead ones. She was like, I noshed off Tupac's ghost. Like, this woman was crazy. Anyway, so you always had the video vixens in the videos, and there was ones who became famous, and you go, oh, it's her. The video vixen would pop up in a bunch of different videos. It's like, oh, I like beating my meat over here. That's fantastic. All right, but Nicki Minaj became the video vixen and the rapper. And that's when it started to turn, because you could tell something was afoot. Something was afoot. And that's when the Anaconda video dropped. Because the Anaconda video didn't just drop. The teaser, this is the first time I can remember there being a teaser trailer for a music video. And this is during the peak of, of the music industry dying. It's like, we are not making music videos. They're expensive anymore. Like a Michael Jackson video back in the day was like a worldwide event. Okay. A worldwide event. And he started that off with Thriller. Okay. And then you get the bad video. Martin Scorsese directs it, for flip's sake. It's like, what the hell is that all about? And then, especially in the 90s when he made his comeback, the black or white video. It's like 15 minutes long. That was epic, and it cost, I don't know, £6 billion or something. And then you get Remember the Time music video, and then you got Scream, which was the most expensive music video ever made. That actually cost £7 million. It's all in black and white. Like, compare that to the funny enough, compare that to the black or white video. You're like, how did this cost $7 million and the other one didn't? But it did, apparently. I don't know, maybe they had to glue someone else's face onto his sister. I have no idea why that cost so much money, but it did. Okay, these were events, and these were very long and cost a lot of money. So these are the kind of things you would expect a teaser trailer for, but I guess we didn't do teaser trailers that much in the 90s, I suppose, because, you had to pay for airtime instead of just putting it on YouTube. But a teaser trailer for the Anaconda video. Now, I don't know if you noticed about Anaconda by Nicki Minaj, but it is absolute dog dump. You know, I'm neither here or there with Nicki Minaj. I think she's, I'm fine with her aura. I'm cool with her aura. Should we put it like that? You know, are you one of those people that likes people's auras? I am. I'm an aura. I see aura. I smell it. I smell it. I can smell aura through the computer. I'm very in tune to aura. I don't know, I like her aura or something. Or maybe I just like her fantastically crafted plastic ass. Whatever it is, anyway, that song is dog dump. And the only reason it works is because it's absolute pop nonsense, and it obviously refers to Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot, which was a #1 smash in the 90s, in America at least, not in Britain. We didn't understand it. I did, though, because I've always been ahead of the game. I like girls with big asses before it was cool, okay? I'm talking white girls, all right? I'm a pioneer. I'm the body positive pioneer. Any one of my friends will tell you so. I've been promoting chubby chasing since at least 92, all right? I'm the body positivity ambassador. You know what I mean? I would have loved a couple of Lizzos back in 93, right? So anyway, let's put this into perspective. The only reason that teaser trailer was dropped is because it's like, hey boys, and it is, hey boys, here's a wank fest for you. All right? When this video drops, there's going to be more juice flying than you've ever seen before. This is like, you're all just going to beat your Samsons to this music video, because that's the only thing it's good for. And that's what the teaser trailer did. Okay? And that's when you knew, it's like, the music video is more important than the song itself. Because now we're getting leverage. Well, not leverage, I'm talking about. You're getting more money generated with YouTube. YouTube, partnered up with record labels. All right? It became part, I think it's part of streams. It's part of success. It generates money. And somewhere along the line was probably looking at Nicki Minaj's videos and look at the ones where her bum's most prominent and just went, well, these ones are doing very well on YouTube. I think I've got it. Teenage boys like to beat their meat to women with their clothes off. Goodness me! We've figured the code, reinvented the wheel. I think that's just what happened. And they're like, right, well, forget about coming up with some sort of banger. We can trick the system with just filth, mild filth, but filth all the same. And then what followed suit? And I think not too long after that, because there's always copycats jumping on the trends, Iggy Azalea. Shout outs to Iggy Azalea. It's kind of funny. I didn't cuss Iggy Azalea out on Twitter. I sort of just said, what a time to be alive because of her meme coin. And then she just retweeted me. And suddenly I started getting loads of weird follows and messages from like Insta, like Thot bots, I suppose. That was a funny day. Anyway, shout outs to Iggy Azalea. Big shout outs to Iggy. Is she attractive? Yes, I'm not too into white girls, but blonde girls especially, but yeah, she's all right. But she did the same thing, right? So she teamed up with Jennifer Lopez. She was smart. No, it was Jennifer Lopez teamed up with Iggy Azalea. Oh yeah, Jennifer Lopez. It was her song featuring Iggy Azalea. Sorry, Iggy Azalea, you didn't jump on that trend. She was already part of the "I'm a girl with a big ass" trend. early stages. And they released a song just called Booty. And they dropped a teaser trailer for the Filth Fest that was this music video. All right. It was the same formula, the same marketing tactic, the same business model. We are women. We have asses. Look at them. Beat your meat. That was it. And that was Born. And then what happens? You get the copycat of the copycat. As far as the wider culture is concerned, some people are thinking, Nicki Minaj basically crafted a whole persona and marketing tactics and the whole brand. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. The whole brand was like based upon Lil Kim. Well, then you get Cardi B, and her whole brand is based upon the Nicki Minaj model. Because here again, the only slight difference is, I'm a Dominican girl, and Dominican girls are well known for their big batties. And it's like, I've got a big batty too, and fake breasts. It's like, oh, good. That's the formula, And she has a ghostwriter, and it's openly known, and no one cares. Because why? Because we just want to see your ass. Okay. Now, I don't know what it's like from the female perspective. Oh, yeah, it's empowerment or something like that. I don't want to get into the whole empowerment thing just now, maybe later. But the fact is, that's the business model Born. Cardi B does very well. Bodak Yellow, super smash. Album does very well. It's done so well, in fact, she hasn't released another album since. This is years ago. This is like 2018 or something. That's doing all right, isn't it? You must be doing all right. You haven't had to do nothing recently. So that business model was born there. Born in a teaser video for a god-awful song about a big jungle snake. Then roll on, 2019, 2020 comes around, and then we just have a slew of artists like this, both from big record labels to independent ones. And then we get to the peak of this, because the trajectory was obvious. It's just going to get more pornographic, and therefore it's going to get more into the realms of porn, and thus the mainstream porn that is OnlyFans. And the OnlyFans funnel of basically Instagram, it's basically Instagram, TikTok to OnlyFans. And most of these artists are absolutely huge on Instagram. In fact, bigger on Instagram than they are other places, including the charts sometimes. And thus this model is born. And this is when I first started commenting on it. I did a live stream back in, during the COVID days when I was locked down in Vietnam. I was like, that's where I came up with this. Oh yeah, artists who sound better with the sound turned off. Because one thing I kept noticing, not just noticing these artists, but when I was checking out their music videos for the stream, I kept looking through the comments to see, well, who's commenting? Like, who's into this? And a lot of the comments were like, yeah, who else is here? This sounds better on mute. Like, that was, go look through any of those videos. Go from Chromazzz to Lato to Megan Thee Stallion to whoever. Like, just go look at their most sort of explicit videos, which is almost all of them, and that will be the most common comment. There's always one of those comments. You'll always find one of those comments. Who else is here with the sound turned off? Something along those lines, and thus that meme is born. It sounds better with the sound turned off. Okay, there probably have never been so many music videos consumed on mute ever. If there was a way for technology to read those metrics, which I'm sure will happen, right? Then record companies start going, well, how about we just release it with no music? Just silent, and just bring back silent movies, but it's pornographic. Yeah. We're going to have a silent film resurgence, right? A renaissance. Right? Silent movies are going to come back, but they're just going to be 2.5-minute music videos with Ice Spice in it. And I think things have peaked with Ice Spice. Well, I'd like to think they have. Actually, I don't even care anymore. I don't really care. I just don't care. It's like people complaining about modern movies and stuff. There's loads of old movies. There's more great old movies than you know. So you'll never run out of great movies to watch. It's just there'll probably be not many new ones, like, you know, one a year. All right, but there's loads, you know. So same with music. It's like I don't care. I'm done with checking out for the latest thing now. I was doing that for a long time and getting excited, and I was just like, I just don't care. Like, I don't need a new thing. There's plenty of old things to keep me amused, you know. I've just become like an antiques collector. But Ice Spice has to be the end, because this is the gimmick gone too far, too quick. Because everyone's like, oh, what is it about Ice Spice? It's like, well, there is nothing about Ice Spice. It's the same as everything else. It's just she just looks like she might have Down syndrome. I think that's about it. I think people are just like mystified by her face and going, is she? How many chromosomes does she have? I'm not sure. I think that's literally it. Because here's the problem with an artist like that, and all these kind of artists who have just sprouted out of the ground like there's been some sort of great rainfall that has conjured up dormant seeds. You know, it's like poppy seeds. They just lie in the ground for hundreds of years without sprouting, and then suddenly, you know, a bit of irrigation, there's poppies everywhere. Like, where the hell do they come from? There's no longevity. Like, think about the longevity. How can there be longevity in your artistic career if it's all based upon, you know, how pert your backside is? And, you know, we got surgery and stuff, but like, what? You want to be like, what, like Madonna? Like, I mean, imagine Madonna was just sexual gimmicks. You know, I mean, it's just like, Madonna's cringe enough as it is right now, but like, geez, how can you continue a career like that? Like, how many different ways can you get your bum out on film? How many different ways are there? Like, how many different ideas can you have revolving around asses? And this is part of the problem. Because every time a new female artist comes out, it's just, you already expect it. You already know. It's like, she's going to have an Instagram and she's going to get her ass out. In this video, she's going to get her ass out. And she's going to be talking about her wet ass pum pum. And that's about it. You know for a fact that you don't need to turn the music on. You don't need to put music on. You don't need to turn off mute, because there won't be a single lyric that you can remember anyway. Do you know what I mean? There'll be nothing. There's no one collecting a top 10 list of the hardest Ice Spice lyrics. No offense, but they're not, are they? There will be a top 10 booty shaking moments, and that's all you're going to have. So it's like, as a musician, like, how is that going to have any longevity? The gimmick is so tired, and yet the gimmick keeps getting regurgitated. And now the gimmick is the norm, and the norm is just creatively bankrupt. It's just sex, sex, sex. And obviously sex always sells, but it doesn't inspire, because everyone does it. You know, it's not like this is anything new. It's like, oh, there's nothing inspirational about it. There's nothing that's going to tantalize the taste buds for the future. Going, oh, well, this is a revolution in artistry. It's like, no, this is the same thing that's been selling for thousands of years, right? It's always sold, and it always will sell, because it's like the number one thing to do, isn't it? You tell me something that's better than that. Well, apart from crack cocaine. Possibly. And when we've reached the precipice of creative bankruptcy, we know we are falling off a cliff into an endless void of nothing, or something like that. And maybe the problem isn't just female rappers per se, you know, and sex, and I mean, all music videos, especially in rap, are like just always with girls with their asses out continuously. And it's not that I'm not a big fan of that, you know, I love it. But it's like, when's this going to stop? You know, when am I going to see a music video that's like, well, you're not going to get music videos like Busta Rhymes back in the 90s, when like those, and Missy Elliott, you know, the song and the music video was always an event, and then the album dropped. Like, it was always an event. It's like, oh wow, can't wait to see what this new video is going to be like. It's going to be crazy. Oh, it's going to be crazy, fam, you know. Same with Michael Jackson videos. I never liked Michael Jackson, but the music videos were an event. But, you know, are we ever going to get music videos that are like that kind of pioneering and exciting? Well, no, because no one puts any money into it. And, you know, I guess if you don't have the money to put into music videos anymore, how can you grab people's attention? Well, you either do something really creative, which no one's doing, or you just do whatever else is. And it's like, just get my ass out, I suppose. It does seem like they're just going to walk into the room with a record executive and just be like, well, can you rap? Well, not really. Can you sing? No, not really. Can you dance? Well, no. Do you have an ass? Yes. Yes. It doesn't even need to be a big one anymore. It just needs to be one that people will look at and go, that's okay. That's about it, really. Can you get your ass out in a video? Yes, I can do that, actually. Oh, you've got a record deal. Oh, #1 for you. You'll be doing private shows for the Saudi royal family by August. Oh, brilliant. Maybe it is the visual aspect of social media that has kind of ruined everything, because radio ain't shit. Okay, Spotify is, well, who even knows what that is? I mean, or even how it works. It's so confusing. You need a degree in physics and mathematics. But most stuff is, you know, presented to us visually. The biggest social media platforms are the ones that utilize visuals. We can't blame, you know, the sexual empowerment movement of women. People would try that. Or, you know, some nutter will say, oh, it's probably a Zionist conspiracy to ruin the black family. Like, someone will say that, obviously. It's just, social media is a gift and a curse. Like, it is a gift because you can make a hell of a lot of money from it. You know, you can empower yourself and have your own business without having to pay massive advertising fees. Do you know what I mean? You can just let content generate wealth. It's fantastic, but with every gift, there is always a curse. You know, you shouldn't drink too much coffee, but enough coffee is actually a superfood. Social media, there is a dark side to it. Oh, we all know about the dark side. That's the one the BBC will talk about, or the Daily Mail saying, oh, don't you know there's suicide cults on Instagram? Oh, they're always on about something like that. Oh, don't you know Zoella makes people want to poison kittens? There was some angle to have a go at it. Oh, what are you doing about all the hate, about all the bullying? I don't know. What are you doing about all the bullying? But really, the problem is the visual aspect of it. And let's face it, there's not many rappers, and we are focusing on rap essentially, right? Hip hop, who have interesting social media. Do you know what I mean? This is interesting. Most of them are doing sort of the aspirational shit. Here's me in a jet. Here's me eating a lobster. Here's me in a Ferrari. Here's me with some bitches on a boat. And it's like, yeah, we've seen that already. You know what I mean? There's not many, you know, there's a lot of artists I love, but not a lot of artists I'd follow on social media. All right? I'd follow 50 Cent. Why? Because he's entertaining and crazy. Therefore, there is value in that. It's entertaining and crazy. Do you know what I mean? Kevin Gates. I love Kevin Gates' music. And his social media is insane. You know, he's always coming out with something with his cousin, or God knows what. You know what I mean? I brought back a buffalo to life by punching it on its nose or something. It's like, whoa, Kev, you are wild. I love him. You know, I love Future. But I wouldn't follow Future on social media because it's like, because I don't know, it's usually him in a fur coat or something. You know, it's not that interesting. Not many rappers have interesting social media. Okay, and the social media landscape is kind of what breeds a lot of success. This is why we had the Clout Era. All right, the Soundcloud era was parallel to the Clout Era. Lil Pump was popping on Instagram. He had millions and millions of followers. He had more followers on Instagram than he did have record sales. That's where the money was. People looked at that and went, that's how you do it. How do you even compete with that? You know, DJ Khaled utilized social media very well through Snapchat. These crazy Snapchats, like getting lost on a jet ski. Literally. Man got lost on a jet ski. Increased his record sales by 400%. But not everyone could do that. But a lot of girls can be like just average and pop off on Instagram. Like that literally can happen. This is the thing. So I think the reason why we got more female rappers who are all doing the same gimmick, and the gimmick has become the norm, because it's just kind of easier for girls to pop off on Instagram than it is for men, essentially. The only way men are going to be able to pop off on Instagram now is just by having, AI influencer bots. And there's some crazy ones out there. I mean, that is a completely different episode altogether that will come out, because that stuff is terrifying. Because it's basically like real women aren't real anymore, and neither are women online. Because it's like the surgery, the filters, and just AI. Like, you can make the woman of your dreams with AI. I mean, you can't. She won't be sat in front of you yet. But 3D printing's pretty good now, isn't it? So, like, I mean, Jesus. You got to feel sorry for women in that way, because all the men could come up with the best ideas. Because, let's face it, they got dirty little minds. I do. I know what I'd want to see. So, but that's the fact. I think the social media angle of the music industry has just created a monster that's devouring itself. It's over. It's like, you gotta have a pop in social media if you want to make bank. And I don't think they looked at any streaming numbers or sales or how many people turned up to the shows for someone like Ice Spice. They just looked at the social media. How did it pop off on TikTok? How did it pop off on Instagram? How did it pop off on Snapchat? If they still care about Snapchat, I have no idea. And that's kind of the metrics now. Those are the metrics they look at. So therefore, Instagram, you will not run out of girls getting their asses out on Instagram. You will never run out of it. You will never run out of that, and you'll never run out of girls who have check out my OnlyFans in bio. Like that's literally, I think, what every woman on Earth under the age of 30 does on Earth. I think that's what they all do. I think all of them. Here we are trying to campaign for literacy rates to increase in Afghanistan and Pakistan or something like that. And yet, what's the point? What is the point? No one cares about reading. Clearly. Like, Jesus. Why go teach people, you need to read and write well, when all you need to do is be half naked? Okay, but then there is so much competition, because like I said, you only need to be slightly average. Literally, go have a look through and see how many average people are there with an OnlyFans. It's insane. But like, average is cool. I'm not saying average is like, oh, you're average. No, like, the average is good. This is what I'm saying. There's plenty. There's so many options. How do you even compete with that? Have a song, I suppose. So maybe these are just Instagram influencers that said, well, I need a different angle, so I'll become a rapper. And why has that become a thing? Because, well, I mean, there are plenty of girls who are basically just Thoughts first, rappers second. It's because now there's a new funnel. It's not that rappers come out and they go, right, I'm also getting my ass out. There's actually girls who just get their ass out and then go, I'm doing a rap song now. Like, that is the standard. That's what Chromazz is. Is Chromazz hot? Yes. Is her music good? No. Like, no. Like, nah, come on, bro. Like, nah. Like, I could tolerate Sexy Red and Glorilla. Do you know what I mean? I could tolerate Coil Ray to a certain extent, but like, am I going to tolerate a Chromazz song? Like, obviously not. She is probably one of the greatest artists to put on mute. Like, seriously. But that's it, because I think the bar got lowered so much about being a rapper that because you literally don't need bars. Now, I don't want to come off like some old 90s head, because those people are like the flipping Amish. Like, oh, I just want to be the 90s forever. Oh, let it be mid-90s New York forever. Like, there's still artists today who sound like, or have the sound and aesthetics of the mid-90s. Stop it. Innovate. You're not innovating either. Do you know what I mean? Don't be here complaining about the future when you're not innovating. There's no innovation. It's either you're stuck in 95 or you're just getting your ass out. Where's the innovation? Where's the new sound? Where's the new Timberland? Huh? Where's that? Where's the new Busta Rhymes? Where's that? For goodness sake. No, none of it. I've completely lost track of my thoughts. This is what happens when you get into it too much. But the point being is, yeah, there's just... being a rapper just became like, it's like easy. I just need to put rhyming sentences together that they don't necessarily need to make sense. It's kind of always been like that. Like, listen to some Wu-Tang lyricism. Does it make some of it make sense? No, it sounds hard, but like, it doesn't necessarily make sense. Oh, I'ma give it to you. No trivia. Like cocaine cut straight from Bolivia. My hip hop will rock and shock the nation. No emancipation. I mean, it doesn't matter. What is that saying? It's not saying much, is it? Like, it's not profound. It's not like Dear Mama by flipping Tupac, is it? You know what I mean? God, what are they going to do with Tupac? I bet they're going to bring an AI version of him where he's a hot chick with a big ass. That's what they'll do with Tupac's image rights. Guarantee it. Keep milking that sacred cow until every drop's gone. Every drop's gone and they're still milking him. Jesus, how long's he been dead? Anyway, you know. But the thing is, it's like you can just. I mean, Ice Spice's lyrics are nonsensical and also forgettable. You can have nonsensical, hard lyrics that are rememberable, you know. But they're neither there. It's not clever wordplay or anything. It just is. It's just you need to have your voice on top of this beat, and that's it. And even some of the beats aren't that good or memorable. You know, I've always been a beat person more than lyrics. You know, if the beat ain't hitting me, then I don't care how good your lyrics are. I'll remember them, be like, oh, that's some hard lyrics. But like, if the beat ain't hitting, I don't care. This is why, you know, when Coi Leray released their, what is it, Girls Are Players 2, whatever the hell that's actually called. But it's because it's that beat. And that beat, you know, Ice Cube done that beat, and obviously going way back to the message itself is like, it's a hard beat. So I feel good when it comes on. I don't care that it's Coi Leray. It's a hard beat. It always has been. That's why it works. And all you need to do is just be on top of the beat. And I'll be all right with it, to be honest with you. I'll be like, yeah, that's all right. Now get a hard beat and hard lyrics together. I mean, that is, mwah, that is peak. That is fantastic. But not necessarily, you know, some of the greatest Timberland beats. Throw anyone on it. I don't care. All right? Great Swiss beats. Money Cash Hoes. You could throw Chromazzz on Money Cash Hoes. I got money and I'm a hoe. Money Cash Hoes. Like, she could literally just say that and I'll bang that out. And I'll bang one out. Like, do that. Right? Chromazzz does that and then does a music video when she's doing her usual pornographic shtick. I'll turn mute off. I will actually put the music. I'll turn the volume up and also beat my meat to it. Like, I'm telling you, that'd be fantastic. I don't care. Your lyrics would be trash, but that beat is hard. It will always be hard. It doesn't matter. I'm sipping tea in your hood, XXX Tentacion. Throw Ice Spice on it. I will play it at full volume. The beat is hard. It is hard. I don't care what you say on a great beat. Maybe that's the problem. It's like, your ass looks good. You have, you know, you can ride a beat to an extent. Nothing else matters. I'll give you another example. Was it Danielle Bregoli when she brought out, was it Bye Bitch? But, because it's Ronnie J. I like Ronnie J's beats. And I was like, this is hard. And actually the music video was crazy. She was like on a horse with a gimp or something. And I was like, do you know what? As retarded as this is the hardest thing I've seen in a long time that might actually upset people. Yeah, because music doesn't even upset no people. No one's picketing outside a Coi Leray concert. No one's picketing outside. Who haven't I mentioned? Who deserves a mention? Saweetie. God, I've left her out, haven't I? No one's picketing a Saweetie concert going, ban this. This is the devil's music. No one even cares. Like, See, no one even cares. No one's even angry enough to go, well, all she does is get her tits out or her ass out. No one's even got time to say that because no one cares. No one cares about lyrics. No one cares about a shtick. No one gives a shit. No one's angry, nor is anyone elated. You know? Great music, which is kind of the point that they missed, some of the detractors missed of my last video that come out, is that great music, great art should cause great reactions. Right? It doesn't necessarily have to have any message. It needs to have a feeling. Like, why aren't you rebelling? You know, why rebel when there's nothing to rebel against? No, you're just rebelling for the fucking sake of it because you're a teenager. That's what it does. It just makes you want to headbutt stuff and smash things up. Why? I don't know why, and I don't care. It's just got to be scary and terrifying and upset people. That's what great art does. There are thousands of artists now who are not making anything that remotely resembles art. And I think that is the main problem. If there is an art to getting your ass out, then one of these female rappers who sound great with the sound turned off is doing something peak artistic, but I don't know which one it is. Maybe Ice Spice because of a weird face. Sexy face, but weird face. I love it. It is just tired, but everything is kind of tired. And this is why you can tell we've reached a peak of cultural, this is peak cultural decline. It's not necessarily because it's moral decline. We've always had some sort of moral bankruptcy going on. I mean, look at the 90s, look at the 70s. So less of that kind of nonsense. No, it's creative. It's a creative lull. Because maybe it's just a lull, and maybe there will be a creative revolution around the corner. Okay, but movies stink. Look at the state of most YouTube. It stinks. Right? YouTube is more better for education that will get you nothing. Like 10 marketing tips that don't work. Or something along those lines. But there's nothing creative or inspiring or shocking. It's all gone. Everything's kind of the same, and if everything follows either this way or that way, and nothing really else. Movies are terrible. The music industry, right across the board, rock music is completely dead. It's been dead for a very long time, and hip hop is now dying and almost dead. I mean, it's approaching death. There is still good stuff coming out. Don't get me wrong, there are still tunes coming out and go, yeah, that's good, but there's nothing that makes me go, oh, wow. The last thing we had was the Soundcloud era, everything that came out of South Florida back in the late 2010s. And anything that was sort of adjacent to that. Like, there was so much good music, and it was hard, it was raw, it wasn't polished. It offended people. It was crazy. It was beautiful. It ticked all the boxes of a great musical movement. And now people are looking back to that era and going, shit, that was fucking great. And even Lil Pump was part of that era. People are going to have nostalgia for Lil Pump. Okay? I know he's still around doing his weird stuff, but people are going to have nostalgia for that. Even Lil Pump. He wasn't one of the greats of that era. Not by a long shot. But people will have nostalgia for going, God, why can't they make a tune like Gucci Gang anymore? Right? Because at least Gucci Gang pissed people off. At least it annoyed people. There's nothing that's come out recently that really annoys that much. It's like, yeah, okay, and I've said it already, but I'm repeating myself. I'll say it again. You might get annoyed by Ice Spice just going, oh, I'm in the deli wearing a welly. Like, that might annoy you, but it doesn't piss you off. It's just you going, oh, okay. It's like a behind. It's like, it's okay. It's not the greatest. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's all right. But there's 1,000 more like that. There's nothing about it that's like, woo, or, It neither makes you want to headbutt something nor hug something. It's just like, that's all right. It's just more musical Ritalin. It just levels you out. So therefore, this is the end. We're all doomed. Music industry is fucked. But, who can? And to be honest with you, I'll leave it on this point. I don't care if the music industry dies because the music industry can be reinvented something can replace it. Music itself can have a revolution, and the business model can change, because the music industry has always been the most exploitative and just downright shady fucking legal industry on earth. There's drug cartels out there that look at the music industry and go, oh God, it's got a bit too far, mate. There's people traffickers. There is an Albanian sewing a Turkish man into the seat of a car, all right, and welding his family to the bottom of the car to traffic them into Britain to work in a cocaine factory. There's an Albanian doing that right now. And he's thinking and reflecting on his life and going, do you know what? Look at what I'm doing with my life. I'm sewing this guy into a car seat, welding his kids and his wife to the bottom of a car. I've charged them 10 grand a head for this. Am I a bad person? And then he remembers, no, Universal Music is still a billion-dollar company. Multi-billion-dollar company. Nah, I'll sleep tonight. And there you have it. Yes, am I comparing them to that? Yes, it's just the most exploitative and just horrid and creatively bankrupt industry that there fucking is in the whole of creative culture. And it deserves to die. It needs to die. It's like it just needs to go away. This whole Spotify numbers thing, all of it just needs to fucking crumble and get replaced. What will replace it? Well, hopefully some sort of blockchain model, because blockchain's got to do something that it promised, doesn't it? You know, the solution to no problems. Please solve a problem, blockchain. Please do it. That would be nice, wouldn't it? If blockchain actually solved a problem. Solve the music industry. You have the potential. Make the revolution happen.